Thank you for staying with us on NTV tonight, and this is the point where we get to speak to the governor of the county of Lamu, where we are spending the next couple of days, primarily because of the Lamu Cultural Festival. Thank you for joining us and for welcoming us and hosting us, Governor Issa Timami.
Thank you.
Yes, and the festival is still ongoing. It just began today. A lot is happening. Maybe just as a sense of getting context, what are you looking at picking from here that you can actually have a sustainable plan to build on, because it's come after a number of years because of the pandemic? So what are some of the benefits you're looking at tripping which will be sustainable?
Well, first, let me say good evening to the viewers. And I want first to thank NTV for the excellent coverage that you have done for the Lamu Cultural Festival and Lamu County. We are very happy, first, with the turnout of the number of visitors who have come to Lamu, primarily because of the Cultural Festival.
Do you have any numbers yet?
We estimate that we shall receive anything between 25,000 and 30,000 visitors. And these are primarily from other parts of Lamu County itself. We have good visitation from both Mombasa and Nairobi, and a lot of tourists have come in. So we have our people both at Manda Airport and at Mokoe, where the road terminates, and we are taking the figures. We can also assess from the accommodation. All the hotels are fully booked. Today, if you're looking for a hotel room in Lamu, it's very unlikely that you'll get one. There are also a number of premises which are let out, and all of these are fully let. But at the end of it all, we shall be able to get a nearly precise figure on the number of visitors that have come to Lamu. And this is an economic venture also. When I see our hotels, our restaurants, they're very busy. My boat operators are very busy. The mamambogas are selling everything that they have. My fishermen are selling all their catch. And it's a win-win for the people of Lamu. The place is very vibrant. The tour guides, the people who are selling curios, and you will find a lot of eateries along the sea. Therefore, this is an indication that the Lamu Cultural Festival is a success.
Do you feel that it's going to be larger than any of those that you've had before the pandemic?
By all counts, it is. And I must say, we have dubbed it as a mega cultural festival. And I think that is justified. From the number of visitors, the performance, we have over 16 cultural dances that we are showcasing. And also from the visitors, we are expecting between 10 to 12 governors and deputy governors from various counties. We have over 8 ambassadors who are already in Lamu. And tomorrow, our chief guest, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, is expected to come to Lamu. So I would say that this is a mega cultural festival.
Okay, and when you talk about mega and you've talked about economic, what has it cost to put this together? From you, at least as the county government, considering there's other stakeholders who put in, but what has it cost the county government to put this together?
Well, first I must say, we have received tremendous support from various organizations, including KPA, LAPSET, CPF, this is the County Pension Fund, KCB, DTB, NRT, that's Northern Range Trust. I don't want to leave out any donor. There is Davis and Shatliff, there is Captain Andy's, there is the Red Cross. So a lot of organization and some individuals who have contributed and made a difference as far as success of this festival. And as a county, we had also budgeted enough resources. One, to make sure that the organization, and you know, before the cultural festival, there are a lot of activities that we had to undertake. We had to ensure that there's a good supply of water. You don't want people to come and that taps are dry. So we invested in improving water supply. We have cleaned our town, and to the extent that we were even painting some of the buildings. We want people to have a good impression, our visitors to have a good impression of Lamu. We have also ensured that all these dance groups are well taken care of, accommodated, and we want everyone to have an enjoyable time. Apart from that, we have also expanded in security. You can see for yourself, we have been here since yesterday. Activities had slowly started, and today, and we have never heard of any incident of insecurity. Na in Swahili we say, ukiona vyaelea vimeundwa. So all this is happening because we were prepared. But we expect that this whole cultural festival will cost us in the region of nearly 30 million shillings.
Okay. And you've mentioned a couple of things that you've done, and we are already, within the season of 100 days in office, because for governors who did not have any issues in regards to their election or their swearing in, such, with exceptions of Mombasa, Kakamega, which are delays, 100 days in office is next week. What can you say so far you have done within this near 100 days, or have achieved for the people of Lamu within this nearly 100 days in office?
Okay. We're in the middle of a festival. I believe a very, very successful festival. That is an achievement, because this will contribute to the economy of our county. And one of the things that we have done at this festival is to give nearly 30 women groups, each group 30,000 shillings as a grant for them to be able to prepare and cook food to sell to our visitors. You know, in Kenya Kwanza, we say pesa mfukoni. So at the end of this, I want these groups of women and the women to have pesa in their pockets. Apart from that, immediately we have improved the health services. Our two main hospitals, King Fahd Hospital in Lamu and Mpeketoni, we have reorganized. We have improved services.
Sorry to just interrupt you. I'm told we need to take a quick break, but we'll come back, and my apologies for that, and pick up on what you've achieved in the first 100 days, but we'll get back and pick up on that. We'll take a short break with this interview with the governor of the county of Lamu, that's Issa Timami. We'll be back with more after we come back. Thank you for joining us, and we apologize for that, but Governor, we are glad we're still here. Lamu is not, if this event is happening now and it's after the pandemic, it means we can still go on with this conversation. So maybe before we took a break, you were talking about some of the things that you've achieved, and you are touching on healthcare. If you could just pick up from there.
Yes, please. And what I want our viewers to know, that we had a lot of challenges in Lamu, but immediately I won the elections. I quickly moved to address the health challenges that we had. One, we revamped the services that we are providing at our main two hospitals in Lamu, which is King Fahad and also Mpeketoni Sub-County Hospital. And we reorganized first the services that we are providing. We made sure that we had adequate drugs in the hospitals. For example, at the King Fahd Hospital, the dialysis machines were not functioning. We made sure at present 3 of our machines are providing dialysis services to our patients. I also revamped the Faza Hospital. There is an outpatient wing which hopefully I am going to open on the 12th of December on Jamhuri Day. In our plan, we are budgeting to put the first theater at Kiunga Hospital. Kiunga, since independence, they have not had a medical doctor in that facility because there is no theater. So I am planning before the end of 2023, we will have put a theater so that our people will be able to be served. My main intention is to ensure that the maternal and infant mortality rates, which were quite high in Lamu County, we reduce them as much as possible.
All right, and considering that you served in the first term of devolution, you know, you're the first governor of this county, then you lost a seat in the 2017 election. So are you saying you found things where they were? They've not really moved from where you left them, or what are we?
No, actually I found things worse off than where I left. There was utter neglect. Some of the dispensaries were actually closed. There is a dispensary at the border village between Kenya and Somalia called Ishakani, which was closed. And in my view, it was unjustifiably closed. So I have already opened that dispensary, and wananchi in that village are accessing medical services. The other area that we want to make a difference is on the issue of water. Already I had explained that we have improved water services in Lamu town, and we are moving to the other towns like Witu, Mpeketoni, and Lamu East, where we are, and we have already started improving water services. And on education, we will continue with providing bursaries and scholarships for all needy students in this county. We are also improving our ECD facilities, where I intend to construct playgrounds in all the ECD facilities in this county, so that children from that early age do not only learn, but also they should be given an opportunity to be children and to play. So these are some of the areas. Apart from that, I am very happy that as we sit here at the Lamu seafront, there is free Wi-Fi provided by the Lamu County government. And we are replicating this in all the major towns in Lamu County.
So is this Wi-Fi only for this festival, or is it some that has been there before and will be there after?
No. This has been there before, and we are continuing to expand the areas that we are providing free Wi-Fi. I want my people in Lamu County to be savvy as far as the internet and the use of the internet, because I believe with proper training, like Lamu, we produce some of the best carved doors and beds and furniture. If I can teach our people to be able to open websites and to market what they are producing, then we will be headed in the right direction.
Okay, and for the island here, we see there are some very unique rules, like in terms of the mobility. You're basically trying to phase out all cars, then the motorcycles can only go so far. Then on both sides of the, what we could call the CBD. And then anywhere else now we use the donkeys, right? So how are you striking the balance between retaining that culture and staying in step with, development, where, we are having to have people walk longer distances? Maybe people may feel like it's less efficient, so to speak, in terms of getting about their business. How are you striking that balance?
I think the most important thing to take into consideration is the fact that Lamu town is listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. And I think it is very, very important for this town to retain that status. And in my view, it is our culture, our way of life that made UNESCO put us on that list. And I am not against modernity, but there are some things that have such value that we should not lose that. One, it is actually healthy to walk around. Getting into cars makes us obese and unhealthy. It is good for our hearts to walk and for our feet. So I am one of those people that are convinced that we do not need vehicles in Lamu. And to ease, because most of the people complain that if they will need to go to the hospital, it's a bit far. In that effort, there are already dispensaries in most of the estates in Lamu town, so that people don't have, if they're sick, they don't have to walk far. So in order to preserve our listing on UNESCO's World Heritage List, and we are custodians, not only for the people of Lamu or Kenya, but these are universal values. And it is very, very, I can't even express how important it is for us. We are custodian of this culture, and it's important that we maintain that. And in my watch, I will not allow vehicles to be in Lamu.
Okay, and a very critical demographic, which has been, the center of a lot of discussion, be it politically or otherwise, and justifiably so, is the youth. And one of the things that is there is to do with unemployment. And part of it, you've partly mentioned how you're looking to empower, the youth and even just other vulnerable groups in terms of economically. But when we talk about part of the economic element is a social one, and there has been a concern about drug abuse and the likes. What is being done in Lamu County to try and save especially the young people from the frustration or just the jaws of drug abuse and its effects? What is being done? Are there enough facilities, or what are you going to do about it?
Right. Truth be told, drug abuse is a big challenge for us in Lamu. But I can tell you what we are doing. Number one, we have zero tolerance as far as drug pushers, the sellers, are concerned. I sympathize with those youth who have been entrapped into the habit of using drugs. But I have no sympathy for the drug pushers. And I, together with the security committee of this county, we are now pursuing, because those who are selling drugs are known. And I have sat with the security committee, and we are now following up and arresting them. Recently, there has been a case where somebody was arrested with very many kilos of bang in this town. And the following day, he was taken to court. which is a big improvement. Number two, together with the Red Cross, we have set up a big rehabilitation center at Hindi. And as a county, we will support those young people who are in drug abuse. We have also started treatment of methadone, both at King Fahd, and I will recently launch the methadone treatment also in Lamu East, and to be followed at Mpeketoni. And what we are doing is, apart from rehabilitating the drug addicts, we are also teaching them some skills so that when they come out of that habit, they are able to fend for themselves, because it is pointless to treat them and then just let them go back to their old ways. So these are some of the measures that we are putting in place. I have zero tolerance with drugs, and I have said, if a drug user is arrested and somebody goes to bail him or her out, I have said perhaps we should also arrest them, because they are accessories to the crime.
So, in light of how big a challenge it is, even to your own admission, by your own admission, you're saying that you've put up, rehab facilities alongside Red Cross. Do you have any that is exclusively owned by the county government? And if not, doesn't it kind of show like there's a disconnect between the situation and the efforts to create a solution, such that you have to rely on a partnership?
We do not have a facility, but as a county, the methadone treatment is being undertaken at our King Fahd Hospital. But the partnership with Red Cross, we gave them land, and right now I'm also going to provide medical staff to help. So it's a proper partnership. It's not that we are relying on them, but they came up and built a very good facility, and the whole purpose that time, we were pushing together for a place where our drug users can get help. So I must confess that it's not owned by us, but we have very, very good relation with the Red Cross. We also, as a county, pay for the drug users to live in that facility. And if you get the time, I would invite you to go and see the facility, because it's also an innovation center where the same drug users, when we rehabilitate them, we give them a trade so that when they come out, they're able to stand on their own 2 feet.
That's something I would take up. Even when we're in Lamu for the next few days, it's one of the stories we could potentially pick up, just to tell that story, just in light of how big a deal you say it is. And I'm glad that you've given us your green light. And as we come to a close, first, belated congratulations on your appointment as the chairman of ANC.
Party leader.
Party leader, I beg your pardon. Yes, but let me get it right. You're the party leader.
Right.
Just a bit on that. And ANC did not perform as well in the 2022 elections. What do you attribute that to? And the second thing I'd like to know, maybe let's start with that. Why do you think that ANC did not perform as well as you would have hoped as a party?
We did not prepare well. We performed dismally, and I believe there are some shortcomings which I wouldn't like to share on national TV, but I am planning, together with the party leadership, we will go for a retreat. We will discuss our performance and see the weaknesses and what steps we are going to take. But we are also planning to revamp our party. 2027 is coming, and mark my words, we will be a party to reckon with. We will go for a retreat, as I said, and part of it is to come with a strategic plan on how we are going to improve come 2027.
So how do you ensure that ANC does not get swallowed in Kenya Kwanza, which is largely UDA?
I think it has been very clear that we were partners. We were, and we are not prepared to wind up our party. No matter what happens, ANC is there to stay. We are in politics. It's competitive politics. And I want to provide the leadership that will ensure that we do not repeat the mistakes that we made in 2022. And we will build a vibrant party starting right from the grassroots in all the 47 counties. And from now, we shall start identifying potential candidates that we will want to woo to come and join our party.
And just picking up on that quite briefly, there has been a concern that we are not yet even 100 days into the governments that were, elected in 2022, but we're already seeing conversations about 2027, and largely coming from the political class. The other day we saw the Speaker of the Senate saying that, as a coastal region, you already know where you're going to, that you're going to support. The coastal region will support William Ruto's presidential bid. Don't you feel that the political class, for you especially as a party leader, is already putting us in a constant electioneering mood, which may not be the best?
Well, I think reorganizing parties after election, it's not an election mood. One, as partners in the Kenya Kwanza coalition, we are faithful to our government. We are loyal to our president. And we shall serve and cooperate diligently with our president. But it is the nature of politics. If you do not aim for the higher office, then you have no business being in politics. Politics is about power. And power will not come to you. You have to seek power. So all this reorganization, we are not putting the country in an election mood, but we are just preparing for the coming elections. It's the nature of politics.
So what is a higher office for you as Timami?
The presidency.
So you saying you're going to vie for president in 2027?
Not necessarily me, but ANC may have a presidential candidate in 2027. We can't rule out anything. But I emphasize again, we are loyal to our president, His Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
All right, thank you very much for hosting us and speaking to us, Governor Timami, who still is our host in this county edition. NTV is on the road, and we are in the county of Lamu, where we have the Lamu Cultural Festival ongoing. Began today officially and runs for the next 2 days. Today being the first, then we have 2 other days to go, and there's a lot of things to be enjoyed and to be experienced in Lamu County. Some very unique things, and we at NTV are going to be bringing this to you, right from the unique cultural matters to some of the different historical aspects of the county of Lamu. And before we close, I can see the governor has a parting shot that you'd like to share briefly.
Well, those Kenyans and others who did not make it to this year's festival, I want to extend an early invitation that come next November, we will have another Lamu Cultural Festival. And all I want to tell our viewers, we have a saying that ni raha ama si raha.
Ni raha.
Ni raha. So with those words, I want to thank you for having me on your show. And once again, I say thank you to NTV.
Thank you very much, Governor, and we wish you all the best as you get into, because you're still settling into your new term as Governor of the County of Lamu. Thank you very much. That's all we have for you tonight on NTV Tonight, as we have our continued coverage of this great county. A lot to learn here, a lot to experience here, and we'll be sure to pass it on to you as our viewers, so that you can also experience Lamu Tamu, as they call it, or Amu Tamu. Thanks for joining us. My name is Dan Mwangi. I've been your host from this side of the bulletin. Have yourselves a great night.